Hi guys, Jason here. I wanted to talk a quick minute about machining eccentrics. So this is a fuel valve, and there's 3 eccentric cuts on there, and I didn't have a good way of indexing those cuts, so I went on YouTube and I found Joe Pye's video in which he does a similar thing with a little mini crankshaft. And what he did on the end of his part, he machined a number of center drill marks, which he could then use with his emergency collet. He drilled an offset and emergency collet. I just used a piece of scrap because that's what I had. But he would then be able to turn this part to line up the center drill marks with the eccentric, with the offset of his eccentric, to dial that in for position. And it did work. I did try it. The only thing I found was it was painfully slow for me. Joe's probably much quicker at indexing all that and whatnot. And if you're making one off, it really doesn't matter. But I was making a few of these parts, and I just wanted a little better way. So I thought I'd share with you what the method I came up with. So it's the same kind of a part, except I ended up using a square collet. And I made a square bushing, and the spacers represent the eccentricity distance that I needed for my cuts. So for instance, to put the big eccentric cut in, you would take the big spacer and move it to the other side. Right? So your setup is literally moving that spacer, put it in the collet, do your machining, you're done with that one. Now you would put that one back and then I would take one of these, move it to the side, right? Oh boy. Let's pretend that you don't do that and you don't have the butterfingers I do, but again, you put the thin one on that side, you throw it in your collet, do that machining, move the 2 spacers to the other side, back in the collet, do your machining, and you're done. I added a washer here so that you can push it up against the collet face and be a little bit of an end stop, so it just makes sure all my cuts were in line, so it made the repeatability much easier, much faster. But that's it. It's a little more parts to make in the beginning. I had to make these couple shims. You could use Weber blocks or whatever if you got the thin ones. But I just made them up. No big deal. But it's about 10 times faster for me than Joe's setup. And again, Joe's setup was a one-off. I wanted to make a few of these. And this allowed me more access to the part. You know, I only had a little flap with the set screw here. That's what I anchored it with. But then you just machine that little nub off in the end, just like Joe machined his center drill marks off. But I don't know. I didn't find anybody had done it that way, and it seemed like a very fast way, and I was happy with it. And maybe it'll help you out. I don't know. Until next time.